Hi, I'm Printed for Fun and I will now perform a small unboxing of the Revopoint Metro Y Pro scanner. Revopoint was kind enough to send me a unit for testing. I guess they have noticed my previous tests of the Revopoint Metro X and the Revopoint Trackit, so now I will be capable to also show you this scanner and show its best use cases and generally how it performs in different scanning setups with the different scanning modes. The scanner itself arrives in this very beautiful box. In comparison to the Metro X, it is now in anodized black aluminum style. Also the panels are black. Don't worry, the box itself isn't arriving in styrofoam form. It arrives in a very sturdy cardboard box with additional foam packaging to protect the scanning box while being on airplane for delivery. Opening the box, we will first see the scanner and the turntable. For now, I will simply pull out all the stuff in the box, and later we will look at the items individually. To start, we of course have the scanner. We will unbox it or unpack it in a later step. Then we have the next big part is the dual axis turntable. You can either manually control it with these buttons, or for normal use case, use it within the Revoscan software, connected by Bluetooth to your PC, so the software can control all axes of the turntable and the rotation speed. Then in the turntable we had two bags. First the power supply for the turntable and different plug adapters for the power supply. The power supply itself is rated from 100 to 240 volts, so it can be used all around the world. Then we have the gimbal for the scanner, or it's more like a tripod for the scanner. If you wanted to use in combination with the turntable, it also can extend, and it looks like it is the same gimbal, same tripod as with the Revopoint Metro X. Next to the tripod we have a small cleaning cloth, mainly used to clean the lenses of the scanner in a very secure way. I would advise against using any dirty rug you have lying around your workshop, since scratching the lenses is no fun. Now, if you want to dig deeper, we have the wall cable for the scanner power supply. In combination with the wall cable, you use the power brick for the scanner. It is also rated from 100 to 240 volts and provides 12 volts to the scanner. Same as the turntable power supply, it's also 12 volts. Using combination like this is a small teaser for future videos or future content about the MetroY Pro. Normally I use adapter cable from USB power delivery to 12 volt barrel jack, so I can have a smaller setup. But of course you need quite a nice USB power supply to make this function. For now we'll use the included power supply. Then we have the USB cable for the scanner. In contrast to the Metro X, some things changed. The length didn't change. It still seems to be roughly 3 meters long, but you can also use it now wireless. But on the scanner side, the cable itself isn't right angled anymore. It's more like a small 20-degree angle. And on the PC side, you now have USB-C, not USB-A. That's quite nice for me for mobile use, since my notebook mainly has USB-C ports. Next, we have in the top here all accessories needed for wireless scanning. That's firstly the cable to connect the power bank or the power bank handle in the scanner. Then we have a spring tensioned phone holder with a cold shoe on the top and a 1/4 inch thread on the bottom. The mounting plate for the cold shoe, so to mount the scanner on the phone holder. And in the bottom we have the handle. Compared to first pictures I've seen, the handle is way sturdier and comfier to hold than expected. I thought it would be the standard small power bank with a 1700 cell inside it, but it feels way more robust and quite comfortable to hold. Here on the top you can also tilt it, quite nice. And the last thing we have here in the bottom of the case is the default David's bust. Cache information, I've seen no, I'm sorry, it isn't the David's bust, it more looks like a small Caesar. I am mistaken, I'm very sorry. Now let's move to the top of the case. First we have some quite soft packaging foam, or like protective foam for the scanner. Then we have a quick start guide and a QC card. I will put them to the side, I'm not using them. Then we have the calibration certificate of the scanner. It was calibrated at the factory, or the calibration result was tested at the factory with an error of 0.012 millimeters, so well within the tolerance of 0.02 millimeters, so the calibration passed. Then we have 200 marker points. These are the standard 6 millimeter marker points, but the scanner is also working with smaller and bigger markers. So you are quite free to use in relation to the size of the scanning object. And the last thing on the top is the calibration plate. This one is even bigger than with the MetroX. I think they simply wanted to use the additional space of the transportation case. And also the MetroY Pro seems to use different optics than the MetroX and MetroY, since the field of view or the scanning area is a respectable size bigger than on the MetroY. Also good to know, on the back we have a QR code used to read the calibration data into the Revopoint scanning software. Okay, let's put the plate to the side, and I'm very sorry, you may have seen it, I touched the front of the plate. Always try to touch the plate at the sides so the front doesn't get dirty, and you have good calibration results for a long time. We'll now put the case to the side and we will look at the contents of the case in a bit more in detail. First we have the calibration table. Markers are already applied. We also have M6 threaded bolts or nuts in it, so we can add additional marker geometries. We have the barrel check and we have the manual control buttons, but normally we use it connected via Bluetooth to the Revopoint software. It seems to be quite similar to the dual axis turntable included in the Revopoint Metro X, but I guess they've tightened up the tolerances a bit, since it now seems way sturdier or way more stable. Keep in mind, the scanner is using the marker points or the feature of the object you're scanning, so the accuracy of the turntable itself isn't relevant for the scanner. So even if there is some play, it simply doesn't matter. Additionally to the scanner, to the turntable, we of course have the power supply, and I will move this to the side now. Then we have the tripod used to place the scanner next to the turntable, so you can have some nice scanning results. You also have the ball head on the tripod, so it is quite easy to adjust the scanner in it in all directions. And it is fully made from die-cast aluminum, I guess. Also the telescopic part is metal. Now we get to the actually interesting part of the whole kit. It is the scanner itself. Instantly when holding it, I can see the scanner itself is a bit smaller than the MetroX, I guess, or at least the standoff distance between the two cameras is smaller. This was implemented, I guess, to allow the single line laser mode to scan into deeper holes. Short information, what scan modes does the scanner have? We have 3 laser scanning modes and 2 full field modes. The laser scanning modes use projected blue laser lines, and the cameras then measure the changes in the line surface or line straightness to determine the geometry. We have 34 cross lines, 15 parallel lines, and 1 single line. The parallel lines are mainly used to get high detail scans, whereas the single line is used to get into deep holes. And the full field mode uses this projector on the bottom to project like it's like a light sinusoidal light beam with supposedly 62 laser lines to also get the 3D scan. It is actually quite faster than the laser line modes. So the laser line modes top out at roughly 1.7 million points per second, I guess, whereas the full field mode can reach up to 7 million points per section captured. Then, of course, you also have the RGB camera. Looking at the other sides of the scanner, we have a fan input at the bottom, I guess, and here we have the output. We have the plug for the cable, and we now have these grip surfaces. With these, the scanner is holding quite good in the hand. It's like a very secured grip I can have of the scanner. Compared to other scanners or the MetroX, it now feels very, very good to hold. I might even say it's the most comfortable scanner to hold by far. At this point, I've tested quite a lot of scanners too in the last years, so I'm quite happy with it. Here we have mounting points for the culture plate, and we of course have the buttons for manual control. So it's like the start-stop button, the mode button we can use to change the brightness or even zoom in and out. And then we have the plus and minus buttons used for the laser brightness or the exposure brightness of the laser. You can toggle between them. Now let's look what equipment do you need to perform a scan, or what stuff do you need from the packaging. First, let's start with wired scanning. Using the USB cable, you of course need power for the scanner. So we need these two. It's the power brick, it's the wall cable, and we need the USB cable to connect the scanner to the PC. Okay, this is wired. Now the big addition of the MetroY Pro is the option to perform wireless scanning. This is realized by providing the laser with power using the handle. It is connected to the scanner with this cable. Then we have the connection plate or the culture plate screwed onto the scanner here. So it gets placed like this. And between the scanner and the handle and power bank, we have the smartphone holder. Since there is the Metro companion app now, where you can screencast from your PC to the phone, so you can always see what you're scanning. Also, a small teaser. I've come to like using my Quest 3 VR headset to get a remote desktop view of the scanner, and basically to position the PC screen anywhere in the room while scanning. But Of course, if it is like a unified app you can use, it's even better. Now let's quickly mount it. I will try to mount the plate with my clumsy fingers, but the screw is quite small to fit within the cold shoe. I may not fully tighten it by now, but this will suffice. Okay, here with the scanner. The scanner also has rubber feet on the front, so it can be placed like this. Ah, okay, I haven't tightened the screw of the cold shoe good enough. And then we have the power cable between the scanner and the power bank. If you now plug it in, you can see the scanner is starting directly. Alright, this was the unboxing. In a future video, or Reddit post, forum entry, I'm not completely sure, I will first give you a small tutorial how I'm using, how I'm scanning, what additional items I use. I have designed some nice accessories for the MetroX and will adapt them to the MetroY Pro to get like a very easy to use workflow with as little equipment needed as possible. And of course, I will share a review of the scanner, how it performs in different testing scenarios, and simply share you scans of mine to see the different modes in action. Also like tests between the wired and wireless mode. I have my trusty Anatomicus skull. I have scanned quite a lot by now. The MetroY Pro will also be used for this one. And of course I have calibrated my micrometer to 0.01 millimeters to get accuracy reading of the MetroY Pro, but looking at the factory calibration results, I'm quite sure it will perform very well. So thank you for watching this video and bye!